I Feel Grey, a story about empathy. Today, when I woke up, it seemed like a usual day. My alarm clock went off as whatever other day. My tea tasted as usual. Even my chair full of clothes that I always tell to myself I had to order seemed the same. Everything equal. Nothing went out of the most boring daily routine that I was more than used to. But today, everything was going to change. Something told me that today was going to be the zero day of my new life. I didn't know if I was going to win the lottery, if I was going to witness an heroic act in the middle of the street, or if a piano was going to fall over my head on my way to work. At around 10 o'clock in the morning, the first student of the day came, and I finally came out of doubts. I forgot to say it. I'm a part-time English teacher and a frustrated musician the other part, although my profession has nothing to do with the topic at hand. As I was saying, during the first lesson I discovered that the change I felt, it was more metaphysical than luck. 15 minutes of talking English language and my student couldn't stand the intrigue, and in a perfect Spanish told me, "Dude, what happened to you?" I answered that I also felt different this morning, but I didn't know what was happening exactly. "But you are great, dude." I ran out to the nearest mirror, that in this case was in the bathroom, and I found that it was true. My face, my body, and even my clothes were color gray. I tried to go back to the classroom to give a rational explanation to my student, although the one I wanted to convince that everything was right it was myself. But I couldn't, so I cancelled all the lessons in the morning and I went to the doctor. Crossing the door of the doctor's office, and with a slight glimpse as I entered, I had the impression, maybe because of the nodding movements of his head, that my doctor had already a diagnosis. Quite relieved, I asked him, "Well, doctor, I guess you imagine the reason of my visit. What's wrong with me?" "These young people get anything into your body," sentenced. I explained that this wasn't the effect of any substance. I even swore that I never used anything. He made me a complete analytica. 3 hours later, they had the results. "Everything normal, champions," announced the doctor with a pseudo-patronic tone. "Well, you make normal life, and this is going to pass like a cold." Not very convinced, I came back home, and on my way, I already realized that making a normal life wasn't going to be that easy. The bus in which I came back to my neighborhood almost had an accident because the driver couldn't stop looking at me puzzled through the rearview mirror. Dogs barked at me, horrified, and children, who always say the truth, pointed at me repeating, "Look, look, Granny, this man is old." 15. It was 15 endless days that I had to wait until little by little I reacquired similar color to that of the rest of the people. During my recovery process, among photos with strangers in the middle of the street and unavoidable laughs on the supermarket queues, I always thought that this that was happening to me wasn't an illness but a life lesson. However, my mom keeps making sure that everything was for not eating enough vegetables, but I'm not that sure. Today, back to normal, we were asked for our opinion about the best candidates for the vacant position of German teacher. We had to choose among the last 3 best qualified candidates and give our reasons. The first was a certain Raul, nice rural look, well qualified with experience. The second was a certain Sandra, party look, serious face, and with teaching experience. In my opinion, she could be the right option. Without any doubts, she would have been my chosen candidate if I hadn't read the third candidate's CV. Mohammed, born in Iraq, exiled at 10 to Iran, given up for adoption to a Lebanese family after the death of his parents when he was 14, came irregularly to Spain when he was 18. Serious face, good qualification and experience. After the votes count, it was announced that Raul would be our partner next year. Later, speaking with the director, I don't understand that Mohammed hasn't been elected, I said after some hesitation. In fact, you were the only one who voted for Mohammed. By the way, why do you think he would be the best option? Said the director. I simply thought that he was the best option, I answered. I know that you think that should be much more valuable to achieve the same qualification as a white European being black, but the world doesn't work this way anymore. We just think he didn't have the right profile, she explained. Sorry, but I don't agree with you. It is much more valuable, I answered. And what makes you an expert in matter of race and Western world of labor? Replied smiling. Nothing, I answered, but I was grey for 15 days, and I remember then as the hardest, saddest, and most cruel of my life. I hardly could concentrate on doing something productive, so I can't even imagine how hard it must have been to get to where he is.